So if you've been watching the sport of Formula 1 recently, firstly, for the new fans, welcome. This sport is awesome and I hope you enjoy your watch. And secondly, for our experienced fans, do you still have hair left? I say this because it seems no matter who you support, teams or drivers, there's like a 99% chance you are suffering. Ferrari fans are contemplating life. Bearman fans, despite his form, are fearing a Ferrari future. Verstappen fans are now at the stage of acceptance. Man, we're all broken. But today, my target is not any of them. Today, my target is Yuki Tsunoda, or more accurately, Arvid Lindblad. Yuki Tsunoda started off the year incredibly well with amazing pace, and he was set for his best season by a country mile, but then he got the call up. Liam Lawson was initially the second Red Bull driver, but after Horner busted too early, seeing him humiliated, he fired him after 2 races and signed Yuki Tsunoda to be Max's new teammate and embarrassment kink victim. And you know, this made sense since again, Yuki was performing super well and it was deserved arguably after 2024, so no one was mad. Instead, they were scared. Since 2018, there's been this little thing known as the second Red Bull seat curse. Basically, 2018 saw Ricciardo leave the team after his car quite literally failed in every single component there was, and this led to Gasly being signed for 2019. However, after 12 races, he was beaten and utterly embarrassed by Max, which caused Horner to fire him and sign Albon for the remainder of the season. He did better, and despite Lewis killing him, he had a bright future. However, had is the big bad word, since 2020 would arguably be one of the worst seasons by a driver ever in modern times, and would be the worst had it not been for somebody else later. So after 2020, Albon was executed in front of his family, which saw my DILF king Checo Perez signed for Red Bull, and despite some lows in 2021 and 2022, he was actually pretty good and was pivotal in Max's title victory in 21. However, 2023 rolled around, and where at first it seemed Checo and Max would duel it out for the title, let's just say that didn't happen. 2024 was even worse since he was finishing like P8 or P9 while Max was fighting demons at the front. So Checo was dropped again and given the Albon treatment, which saw Liam sign and kill just as quick, which leaves us to Yuki Tsunoda, the driver with the worst season ever in modern times. I say this because while yes, that car definitely sucks to drive, Yuki, you cannot be that bad. Yes, car issue plays a part, but let's not pretend Yuki isn't playing a part as well. So this leaves us with a reality one that is very likely going to happen. Hadjar, who's performing really sweet, will get called up in the Paramount 2026 season while Yuki gets the boot from the sport. And who replaces Hadjar? Arvid Lindblad. Now originally, I was just gonna make a video on what went wrong for Yuki. However, I'm gonna let the season finish before I do that. So let us talk about Arvid, who a lot of people still aren't sure of. All I'm gonna say is Lindblad is being seen by Red Bull as their next Max Verstappen. Period. So let us find out why that is and why I believe he will be Red Bull's future in the sport, especially when there are still so many unknowns with the team post Horn Dog. So go join the Discord to cause Discord and subscribe if you're new if you can't wait for 2026. So enough yapping and let's get to quacking.
A good weather for a race, but especially for a dog.
So before we see just how awesome he is, we need to go back in time. Some liquid in a dude's balls led to the creation of the person known as Arvid Anad Olaf Lindblad, born on the 8th of August 2007. Fun fact, if Lindblad does join next year, he will be the new youngest driver in the sport, which yes, means Kimi, despite being born in 2006, is already not the youngest anymore. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Lindblad would get into karting at a very young age like all aspiring drivers, and like Lando Norris, he initially wanted to get into bikes. However, unlike Lando, Arvid would give up on that in pursuit of a different class of car, open wheelers, and of course, F1. And to make you feel really old, one of his first series he competed in at age 8 was in 2015 for some low cadet series, and well, he wouldn't perform good. Not much is known about this series and the year other than his results, so let's pretend it was a series full of 40-year-olds or something. Anyways, 2016 would come around and he would do more and more karting, this time across 4 different series, and he would start performing much better. Again, not much is known about these series since this is like Little League's Pee-wee's competition, but he did get better results and started to get that drive and power. This was evident in 2017 where he started to win. He started winning in the cadet competitions that he was competing in since 2015, and he got a 3rd place in the standings for one of them and 2 second places in other series as well. And this wouldn't change for 2018 and 19 since again, not much is known other than he was showing extreme pace and more notably, adaptability. He was getting most karts and circuits from the jump, which of course gave him an edge over many in these series. And 2020 was the breakout year in karts since he competed in a total of 9 series and his lowest placement was 14th, but that was a dud. Removing that one, his lowest placement was 5th, while he went on to be in the top 3 in most of them. And if 2020 was his breakout year in karts, then 2021 was his ultra mega super deluxe breakout year 2000 in racing. In a total of 8 series, his lowest placement was 3rd. It was an extremely good year full of series wins, and bro knew it, since not only did he get assigned to the Red Bull Junior program, in the same year a 14-year-old Lindblad told Lando Norris at a Grand Prix, "Remember me in 5 years," which of course we know now is 2026. Not gonna lie, this kid is cold. 2022 was his final year in karts, and while his results took a downturn, that was for a reason, since he was getting ready for cars. And then that same year, he competed in the Italian F4 series for 8 races, and he was alright. He got 12 points and didn't exactly set things ablaze, but next year in 2023 would have to be massive given his hype and familiarity in cars now. And massive it was. 2023 saw him compete in the F4 UAE series, Italian F4 series, Euro 4 championship, and the Macau Grand Prix, and his lowest placement was again 5th, specifically for the F4 UAE series. Important to note, by the way, Lindblad wasn't the only prospect competing in that series, since there was also Hugo, I won't pronounce his last name, Tuukka Taponen, and the winner of the series, James Warren, who I'll say right now, remember all of their names. Anyways, his best series was the Italian F4 series, where he won 6 races and scored 10 podiums that saw him 3rd in the standings behind only to Hugo and Polish name I won't even try to say. As for the Euro 4 championship, he won 1 race and got 4 podiums, and for the Macau Grand Prix, he won the damn thing. This was massive, since Macau, for those who don't know, is basically the concept of taking children and sending them to the beaches of Normandy. This is one tough race that winning it is sometimes impossible, but yet Arvid did it, and this got him many eyes. For the next year in 2024, Arvid Lindblad will compete in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship, and also more notably F3. For the Formula Regional, he won 1 race but also finished 13th in the standings. Who cares? F3 is where it's at, and in his rookie year, he was fighting for the title up until Hungary. But before then, he won in his debut race in the Bahrain Sprint, proceeded to win again in the feature race at Spain, and doing the double in Britain. He was a genuine contender for the title, and right around this time is when everybody started to hear his name. Now, I only heard of his name at this time and knew he was good, but when I saw those British F3 races with my own eyes, I was convinced Jesus has returned. His driving was out of this world and is nothing short of generational. However, after this, he did not score any more points, which saw his title efforts gone and someone like Fornaroli winning it, but everyone knew Lindblad was the real star, so fuck another year. He went straight to F2 for 2025, and here we are now. It is worth noting though that in this year, he would also compete in the Formula Regional Oceania Championship, where he would win the entire thing, and despite this being his first championship win in cars, he still had the sauce regardless. Everyone knew that. So how was he in F2? I mean, he's still great, don't get me wrong. He has 3 podiums, 2 wins, and a nice 7th place in his standings, but his biggest issue is being highlighted right now, and that is his awareness. Like all generational drivers, man do they love a crash, and Lindblad is no exception. He has been in his accidents here and there, and most of them, I mean, what are you doing, son? But that's not the only reason why he's 7th, and in fact, it's not even the biggest reason, since it's once again the Mecha Chrome lottery. Lindblad's car has a tendency to just be slow and blow up sometimes, which doesn't exactly rake in the points. So while Fornaroli is winning the title, no one is rating him, or anyone for that matter, besides Lindblad. And done, but we're not talking about him. This really shows F2's failures as a series, since you would think the best drivers win, but nope, ask Victor Martins about it. So here we are, chat. Despite Lindblad's crash-happy nature, he is bloody quick, and a seat at Racing Bulls for a new regulation period may be the correct choice. This won't be an Antonelli situation or a YUKI 2021, because everyone will be at square one, giving Arvid the confidence he needs to be sure that he is not at a disadvantage. But who can be sure of any of this, right? Well, I could be, pussy. I know some of you may still have your doubts about him because, oh, he didn't win F3, he is crashing in F2, he's not ready for F1, and those are all extremely reasonable. However, let me open your eyes. The junior formulas like F3 and F2 are not always representative of the drivers. That's why you gotta see them race and not look at the results, since you will see 2 entirely different worlds. You look at somebody like Victor Martins and his results are very bad and bleak, but you watch him race and you wonder, how the hell is he this low? No. Well, that's because of something called the Mechachrome lottery and simply not having money. F2 and F3 use the same engine made by Mechachrome, meaning they are all supposedly equal. However, like all capitalist societies, you could buy your way out of equality and make yourself superior, which leads to people like a certain Leo Fornaroli to just not win races, but win the title regardless because your engine blows up the least, and your setup, also thanks to your money, has the help of some geniuses for hire and the best, most durable parts, which skews the series towards the rich. Lindblad is a sort of victim to this since his talent is shining through the bullshit, much like Kimi last year, but it can make people think that they are not ready when that couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is, if Lindblad gets promoted to F1 next year, he'll perform much better than he is at F2 currently. Yes, he is crashing a lot, but Red Bull know this. Want to know someone who crashed a lot in F2 the year before they got promoted to F1? Ollie Behrman, Kimi Antonelli, and Isaac Hadjar. Sometimes all a driver needs is hands-on experience to lock in, and who's to say Lindblad won't be the same? Plus, his pace and adaptability to just understand every single car he touches is simply too massive to overlook. Where some drivers need most of the year or 2-3 years to understand the series they are racing in, Lindblad needs like 3 corners and he got it. That makes him so deadly since in a new regulation period where management and adaptability to different circumstances will be crucial, Lindblad could be Red Bull's solution. Solution to what exactly? Their Max Verstappen problem. Now hear me out. Max will not be here for much longer. He has desire for other forms of racing, plus he has cemented himself as arguably top 5 or top 3 of all time in F1. Now is the time to jump ship to WEC or other racing series to continue his legacy. And with his exit, there will be a void. Hadjar is good, but would I say he is championship material? Nah. Liam is also good, but I would also put him in that same boat of good and race winners, but not title winners. God bless Yuki's soul, and all that's left is Lindblad, a serial winner who understands cars more than his peers can. He will need like 2 to 3 years to get ready in F1 to, familiarize himself with the circuits and the car, and when Max leaves in that same time frame, I reckon Lindblad will be ready to take the F1 world by storm. So even though he does have his issues, he will be given time to improve them. Red Bull know he is a demon, and the last thing they want is giving him unnecessary early attention like how Mercedes did with Kimi. We know Kimi is great and he is still one of the most talented drivers I've ever seen, but even he is susceptible to pressure and Red Bull must avoid repeating Mercedes' mistakes. I would imagine he joins in 2026 for Racing Bulls, and in his first year, while featuring his crash here and there and perhaps his name leading the Destructors Championship, will simply show too much pace to care. And in 2027, his crashes will decrease while his pace increases. Maybe a podium is scored depending on Racing Bull's performance. 2028 rolls around, and after yet another year of consistency and extreme pace that is begging to have a car to win, Max retires at the end of the season, and who joins? Arvid Lindblad. He won't be good from the jump since Red Bull will definitely need a proper transitioning period, but once they complete it, the 2030s may be his to take. But all of this is banking on the idea that he is in that seat for 2026, which I think he will absolutely nab up. With Yuki having zero hope and Hadjar begging to be promoted, Lindblad is the only one who can fill the seat, and after making this video, I am more than convinced he is ready for it. You don't just win 2 races in your first year of F2 while having people literally fly on top of you and your engine blowing up to pieces. His pace is up there with the junior Formula legends of Antonelli, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen, and many, many more. 5 years ago, he told Lando to remember him, and 5 years later, he will likely be racing against him with a point to prove. The world is yours to take. So anyways, that is why I think Lindblad is the future of not only Red Bull, but maybe F1. Again, he has his issues, but man, he is just that quick. And Lord knows Red Bull need their solution to their Max problem soon, since they do not want to be caught off guard and left to rot once Max leaves. No disrespect to Isaac or Liam, but they are not Arvid Lindblad, and I cannot wait to see what he can do in the sport. Please don't jinx him, man. Please don't jinx him. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the flock for their continued support. Make sure to join it if you want cool benefits, as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since it really helps me out. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you think of him. And as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.